I'm Justin LaBar. It's Valentine's Day this week. And Rob, do you kiss on the first date?
Justin, you cheeky monkey. What's a date? I'm Rob Rossi. This is Upview.
Second week of our series here on upgroove.com. It is Upview. Rob Rossi, Justin LaBar, the Point Park University students here in the Point Park CMI in downtown Pittsburgh. We hope you enjoyed last week's debut episode. We had a great talk coming off of the Super Bowl. We had former Penguins player Colby Armstrong with us. This week, Rob, a line of stuff to do. We have Stacy on the X.
We're doing lines, Justin?
Nope.
Okay.
Not. This week we have Stacy from 105.9 The X. We're going to talk to her about what it's like to work in the radio business. But we also are going to talk about the wonderful Hallmark holiday, Valentine's Day. But we'll do that. But first, we got to talk about upgroove.com. Upgroove.com, everything that is trending, you will find it there. A lot of great stories. One Valentine's related story we have to give note to. Tori Parrish did this one. Not a Valentine's Day lover. Here are some alternatives. She gave a lot of different alternatives of what you could go do if you're not going to be out on a date. Some other great stories from upgroove.com.
Why do you keep looking at me when you're asking about not going out on a date? What do you think? I'm just going to sit at home on Valentine's Day?
Some other great stories to talk about that were on Upgroove that were trending. These are a few of my favorites. Really. McDonald's is testing a crab sandwich. I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in McDonald's?
No, I don't believe in having a crab sandwich at McDonald's. If there's not a certain amount of body of water nearby, I'm not eating seafood.
Well,
and I'm definitely not eating seafood through a drive-thru.
To be fair, it's never been meat at McDonald's or chicken at McDonald's, so shouldn't facsimile of crab be just okay?
I grew up in the Chesapeake Bay. I want like good quality crab, not from Ronald
You're
McDonald.
just a bit of a snob.
Well, it takes a snob to identify a snob.
Well, I am a pretty established snob.
How about established Ford? Ford is investing $1 billion into a Pittsburgh firm to develop self-driving cars.
Well, it will help Jung Ho Gong.
I like the delay of a few people that got that joke there. And finally, this is in Oklahoma. Cops said that a guy was so wasted he tried to pay for Girl Scout cookies with vodka.
What's the most you've ever spent on Girl Scout cookies?
$20, $25, I don't know. Samoas.
That's it?
Yeah. I'm not a big sweets guy.
Man,
Now, how much have I spent on vodka? We could go on for days.
Let me tell you something. I don't want to say I put down a giant order of Girl Scout cookies, but it's coming out of your salary.
Yeah, well, like everything else.
So
everything else.
All I have to do, you're telling me, since I don't have a date on Valentine's Day, is go to the places where you get those things, the apps, on the magic machines, and I can just download this Upgroove thing, and I can just read all about this stuff.
Upgroove.com. Upgroove app.
Upgroove app?
Yeah.
I got one of those Apple things, so I can get it on the Apple?
Yeah, you can read the app while you're trying to be single having dinner on Valentine's Day weekend. I heard you had a problem going out to eat for Valentine's Day.
Listen, I don't have to try to be single. Thank you. I'm very good at it. Secondly, yes, okay, listen. We don't need a pre-Valentine's Day weekend excursion. I tried to go to 3 restaurants by myself this weekend because, like most people...
Why don't you call somebody?
Well, I called the restaurant and I said, could I come eat? And they were like, sure. And then, but here's the problem. They were all booked. They're like, and I said, well, what's the big deal? Nobody ever comes here. It's a lousy restaurant. And he's like, nope, it's Valentine's Day. Every restaurant's packed on Valentine's Day.
I'm sure you appreciate it.
Ended up eating at McDonald's, which didn't have a crab sandwich, so kind of got screwed there too. Stupid Valentine's Day.
You didn't realize that Valentine's Day is a Tuesday this year, so the weekend prior is probably going to be busy?
I thought with, a day, Valentine's Day, that it would be limited to a day. It's like a 2 weeks
St. Patrick's Day, people get drunk for the whole month of March.
Well, but that's different. I'm part Irish. I can tell you that we're drunk all the time. We just get acknowledged for it on this day. It's not like people are actually in love 365 days of the year, and this is just the day it's acknowledged.
All right, Rossi, before we go to Stacy at the X, give me your final thoughts on Valentine's Day. I know you're burning here.
Well, it's not so much about Valentine's Day. It's what I'm going to do this Valentine's Day.
I'm scared.
I'm going to watch Annie.
What?
Now,
who's she?
Over the weekend.
Oh, you mean the musical?
The musical. Oh. Well, kind of the movie.
Okay.
The first bad movie about Annie. I'm going to watch the first bad movie about Annie because I haven't in a long time, and I watched the newer bad movie about Annie, starring, I believe, Will Smith's daughter, and it was awful. But I also remember thinking that the original Annie movie was awful compared to the play. So I said, what would be more appropriate for my pathetic existence as a engaging with humankind person on this planet than to sit down and watch Annie and just maybe sing Baby all night.
Well, I gotta say this about Valentine's Day, and it's more like society and culture in general. I love social media. I'll admit it. I do like to unplug, but I love social media. I'm on Twitter nonstop. You can hit me up at Justin LaBar. I'm all for it. But I have to say, this whole 140 characters, this whole snap a selfie, everything. Give me your status update. It's literally become a thing of. Everybody is so damn opinionated one way or the other. Why can't, if you don't like Valentine's Day, if you don't have a date, just be quiet about it. I don't understand why everybody. I mean, it's like, not my president, not my holiday, not my Grammy award winner. Beyonce should have won. Adele, like, I don't understand why everything is so just. We either love it, hate it. Why can't, if you don't like something, if what did Mom say? If you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. I hate all the hatred towards Valentine's Day, and I don't even really do much for it other than buy a puppy and eat crab sandwich.
Maybe if you'd chill, you wouldn't be so angry, and you wouldn't ramble on about anger. Maybe.
Approve the musical. Who said that? I can't see you back there. All right.
I don't.
Looking to people at home. Look.
See, we betcha he's smart.
We have a lot that you can check out this week on upgroove.com, on our Facebook, on our Twitter. We're going to have more clips with Stacy from 105.9 The X. We're also going to have some tweets that some Pittsburgh celebrities might be sending out on this Valentine's Day week. And we'll give you a little tease of our interview with Stacy right now. Stacy Walter, Rob, you know a little bit better than I do. We've been working for The X, and we're working for Clear Channel.
To be fair, by knowing her, I stalked her online.
Okay.
I'm a fan. She's a good radio DJ. So I was like, one day I was like, hey, I don't like a lot of people on the radio, but you I do.
Well, we have a great full interview coming up that you'll be able to see on Tuesday with Stacy. You can check out on upgroove.com.
She's musical, by the way. She can sing.
You can't carry the tune in a bucket, but she can sing and she can play instruments. We got a full interview with her on Tuesday, but here's a small clip of it. This is Stacy talking about what it's like to be on the radio, changing her voice, doing all the different voice acting that comes into play, and a career that she's been involved in now for over a decade. So, Stacy Walter, we thank you everybody here at Point Park University. We hope you enjoy the rest of the clips all week long.
Do you know what over a decade is?
10 years?
A lot of tomorrows. So I started in newspaper land I was 16.
What's a newspaper?
Well, that's
16.
sort of 16. I was 16.
Go to a museum.
Yes, go to a museum. There used to be these things called newspapers, and I've seen it progress to like the digital age. And while doing that, I've had to sort of become a jack of some trades. TV, doing some radio, and that. I never know if I really felt comfortable with sort of the on-air stuff. You sound like you've had a similar trajectory. Did you, at any point when you started on air, have to say, I got to alter my personality a little bit to do this, or is this just you? The person we hear is you.
What I find is I'm pretty consistent. I know, like, say, if you ask my sister, she'd be like, you have two different voices. But it's, there's an inside voice and a voice that you use when you're clearly talking into a microphone.
Are we getting that one
as
now?
As far as personality goes, I couldn't even tell you. So I think I'm like pretty even throughout. But
so sort of like somebody with multiple personalities,
consistent.
You don't know if your voices sound different.
Hopefully I don't pop my peas. Pap keeps plenty of pennies in his pocket.
Well, Justin, you do a lot of this. I mean, you do a lot of the...
I know that I have
yes.
I know that I speak with a deeper voice.
Yeah.
There it is. I know I do. I can admit that. Because my friends go, who are you trying to impress, Mr. Bass? Like, it's, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've never adjusted my voice because I have a voice for print and a face for radio. Mm-hmm. So, and probably a talent for none. So, but I never could adjust my voice. It seems like it would be very hard to talk like that all the time. Hi, this is Rob Rossi, and welcome to Talking About Stuff. Like, I couldn't do that all the time.
And even that, I mean, really, something else that I've been getting into is a lot of voice work. So being a voiceover artist, super fun, which does require a little bit of voice acting. So that's where you kind of more.
How'd you get into that?
I stumbled into it. Actually, a boss, old boss of the news talk station that I used to work for, he was like, hey, why don't you just start putting your voice on the air, as if he sounds like that. So, and I did, kind of mixing it in with a lot of the male heavy voiceovers, which you will find in radio. There's not too many female roles for voiceovers. So it's kind of a little bit different.